Welcome to the National Park Service's Preservation Briefs. I'm glad you're with us today. We're going to be talking about the preservation briefs, which are real simply a written up description of best practices. That's how you do things well and do it right in regard to historic homes and buildings across the country. Now, these preservation briefs were written by some of the top preservation professionals from coast to coast in this country, and they are really great information. One of the things that we know, though, is that sometimes people need a little bit of a visual. So we have decided to shoot some preservation briefs on video so that you can get the basic gist of how it all works. Now, once you watch one of these, you're going to be able to go to nps.gov and you're going to be able to read the full brief. And with all that information, you're going to be a better consumer of historic houses and buildings. So let's go do it. Welcome to Preservation Brief number 47. Now, 47 is maintaining the exteriors of small and medium-sized historic structures. So what does it mean when we say maintain your building or your house? Well, the word preservation at its basics means preserve or maintain. It's why we use the term for historic properties all over the country. Now, in order to do this, you have to have a plan, and it starts by taking a look at the house from the roof all the way to the foundation. You can't create a maintenance plan without understanding the nature of the issues. You need to note all the different things that you see as you go from the roof all the way down to the basement, to the foundation, so that you can see what the issues are. Do this in a logbook. It's really important that you log it. Put the date in there, exactly what you're seeing, and those kinds of issues that you think are going to be a problem or might be a problem down the road. Maybe they're a problem right now, it doesn't matter. And take really good photographs. Then once you have all this data, you put it all together and you can make decisions about what needs to be repaired and when, and get those repairs scheduled, because that's critical. So let's take a look at a few of the issues with this particular house. Well, I'm lucky today because I was able to come out of a door on the second floor to this balcony above this little sunroom down here. But the reason I'm out here is because I want access to the roof to take a look at all the things that are going on up there. And I'm standing on what some people call a flat roof, but is really technically called a low slope roof. And it has tar slathered all over it, and it's a mess. Lots of cracks. Water is leaking in here as we speak. Now, good news is it has a gutter, and the railing is fairly tight, although this wrought iron railing is not original, and I've seen around on the other sunroom balconies that they had a wooden balustrade. But at least there's something up here to keep people from falling off. So the next thing we need to do is go up and take a look at the roof. But boy, is it nice to be able to get up here and see what's going on. Now, this is called a built-in box gutter, built right into the eave of the house. What's really critical is to make sure that you have all the debris out of these so that they can drain properly. So that's going to go in the logbook. Then I'm taking a look at the shingles, and these are original to the 1928, 1929 year this house was built, and they're asbestos slate. Now, the word asbestos freaks people out a little bit, but the truth is these shingles will last for 100 years if they're maintained and taken care of, and they're not what we call friable. That means loose fibered, so it's not a big issue. They get a little dirty, but that's just part of the nature of them. Now, we also have all kinds of other things we need to look at while we're up here. We have a copper ridge cap up here that's in decent shape. You can see the hail damage to it, which is interesting. And then behind us over here, we have what's called step flashing. Now, this is step counter flashing, and it goes up like a stair step up the side where the roof meets the brick wall. That's the right way to do it, and that's copper. That's original, and it's in very good condition. So you want to make sure you're taking photographs and putting all this in your logbook so that you know what you're doing. The moss that's growing down at the bottom of the roof close to the brick, that's something else that needs to be taken care of. This is the eave, and it's made up of different components. The fascia is the face of the eave. The underneath side is called the soffit. You need to inspect it. Obviously, we have peeling paint here that's going into the logbook for future repair, and actually pretty quick. Well, as soon as you get done with the roof, then it's really important to take a look at the sidewalls. This happens to be a brick house. Many houses are what we call frame, and they have clapboard or vertical, horizontal, all different kinds of siding materials. You have to inspect them. And in this particular case, overall, the mortar here is in really good shape. This is original lime-based mortar, probably has a little bit of Portland since it's around 1929. But as we come up here, underneath the eave, we start to see some spots where the mortar is failing. And those are areas that can cause all kinds of problems. As moisture gets in there, and we happen to be in a northern climate, the freeze-thaw can cause these mortar joints to pop out with the excess moisture inside of them. So it's really important that these get repointed. You don't have to repoint an entire exterior brick building. Do spot pointing, and that means finding someone that understands how to match mortar. A lot of people want to repoint your whole house or your entire building because they don't know how to match mortar. You want to find somebody that knows how to match mortar so they can just do the spots that need them. The next thing to look at are the windows and doors essentially in your house. Now we have caulking issues right here. The caulk is cracked and moisture is getting into that joint, and down at the bottom you can almost see it starting to feel a little bit mushy, where the moisture is getting in and settling down right here at the stone sill. Then as we come up here, you can see this return on the eave. There's a gigantic gap there that needs to be caulked. Moisture can get in there. We have caulking issues where the crown molding is underneath the shingles going all the way up the rake of this house. That would be the gable end. And all those caulking issues are really important, but especially on penetrations like this. Now, if we come over here and we look at this door, we can see that overall it's an original door. The putty's in good shape overall. It's starting to crack a little bit down here, and you'll see that on windows and doors especially. The putty will fail down at the very bottom where the water settles in. But we're also getting some moisture issues, and we're getting peeling paint here. All this needs to go in the logbook. So this is an important thing to notice when we're looking at the foundation and how that all works with the house. Notice the discoloration here. Well, what that is splash over, because this particular sunroom with the balcony above has no gutter. You can see this roof had a built-in box gutter that was shingled over when they put the new roof on this solarium, but they should have put gutters back on the structure. And the water is just pouring down here. It's created a trough. And when you look at this corner, it literally looks like a moat. All of this dirt is not good to be on the brick all the time, but it also puts excess moisture into the mortar. So this grade needs to be improved. We need to put this in the logbook. Well, hopefully you can see that understanding the maintenance issues around your historic structure is critical to the health of your historic house or building.
This has been a presentation of the National Park Service with Bob Yapp. For more information about this and many other preservation briefs, go to www.nps.gov.